Hello, everyone. I'm sure you can tell right now that my face is very, very excited. Well, that is because I'm joined by one of my favorite WWE superstars. She is a 5-time WWE Women's Champion. It is, of course, the one and only Alexa Bliss. Hello.
Hello, I like that intro. It's pretty nice.
Well, I'm a big fan. I mean, as you can tell right now. Do you like this?
Wait, I think I have one of those too. I do. It's over there.
I'm sure you have about 100. Now, I missed you so much when you were off our TV screens. How nice was it to come back properly in May after being out for so long?
Oh, it was so nice. It's always nerve-wracking leaving and then coming back because you don't know how people are gonna perceive you, and coming back and especially with the little bit of change that I had to do, I was really nervous on how people were gonna take that. So yeah, it was fun, and it was a really good welcome back, and I really liked it.
Could we see a new tag team on the horizon potentially? What would you say about that?
Potentially, yeah. Liv's super talented. She's got a lot of energy, and she trains a lot. You see on her Instagram, and she has such a passion for what she does in the ring, and that's ultimately someone you would want to have as a tag partner. And yeah, I think it'd be fun.
All right, well, good luck. I am rooting for you. Now, I want to just ask a few more questions about your backstory. And what I've admired about you is you're not one of the tallest WWE superstars. You're 5'1", I believe, right?
Yeah, well, I'm 5 foot and 3/4 of an inch, but 5'1" on a good hair day.
Okay.
Today I'm 5.
And you never look like you're intimidated by anyone when you enter the ring, even though you are 5'1" and 3/4 with your hair.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel intimidated?
No, it's all a mental game. It doesn't matter, how big you are. If you're not faced by someone that's twice your size, I think that's more intimidating than anything. Doesn't matter how big you are. It's your attitude.
And would you have a message to any inspiring girls that want to make it, that don't have like the standard look that people would assume somebody to have in the industry?
I feel like anyone can accomplish anything they want to, depending. It doesn't even matter how like the size you are. If you don't fit the standard, if you don't fit the mold. I'm 5'1" and 112 pounds. I don't look like someone that wrestles in the ring for a living, but that's what's great about our women's division. It's such a diverse group of women, and we all come in different shapes and sizes and looks, and it's awesome, and there's a place for everyone.
When you first started training, and you were one of the sensations at the Performance Center, and did you have anyone that told you that you wouldn't make it, that you wanted to prove wrong, or you always had that mental belief in yourself?
You mean, okay. Yes. And I made it a point to prove them wrong, because it didn't matter. I knew I deserved my place in the locker room, because it didn't matter the journey you got to get there. Everyone paid their dues in some way. And it was my goal to show that I did deserve to be there. It didn't matter what background I came from. If I hadn't been in a ring before, and it put that little fire under me, and now it's the Alexa Bliss you see today.
Well, I'm happy you did, because you are a pleasure to our TV screens. Now, you were fortunate enough to have made a WrestleMania appearance before you made your actual main roster debut. And not many superstars can say that. That's pretty cool. How was it like coming down with Triple H that night? Did you get chills from being in front of all those fans?
It was so nerve-wracking, because I had to be the one to hand him the cup and take the headpiece that was probably worth more than my house at the time. And it was done in the dark too. So all the lights went out, and then you just hear this roar of people. And I just remember just feeling that energy. And I remember thinking, like, I want to be here again, but on my terms, you know what I mean? In my entrance. And it was so cool. And, Triple H looked back at us, me, Charlotte, and Sasha, and said, first of many. And it was something that was really reassuring. And I just knew that once I felt that energy of the crowd, I always wanted to feel it again, but for me.
and he was right. How much value has Triple H added to your career?
Oh my gosh. You know, if it wasn't for him seeing something in me at my tryout, I wouldn't be in WWE. He was the one that hired me. He hired me, and he, you know, he has such creative genius when it comes to WWE. And he was actually the one that came up with Alexa's Playground. I remember I was at Raw and we're leaning on the barricades and everyone's there. And he just kind of looks at me and he goes, well, what if you have a playground? And I was like, a playground? He goes, yeah, like, because I used to have Moment of Bliss. He goes, you should have a playground. Like, you're this child persona. You know, you should have like a slide and a swing set. And then literally a week later, I get a picture of him on the swing set sent to me. And Alexa's Playground was born.
You just got married. Congratulations on your wedding. I saw the pictures. It looked fantastic. I wanted to ask a question. Were you a fan of Ryan Cabrera's music before you met, or you weren't really phased?
I knew of his hair. I knew because in middle school there was a kid named Darren Scarberry who always wore his hair like Ryan. There's a little thing up there, but like that. He always wore his hair like Ryan's up there, and real spiky, and everyone called him Ryan Cabrera. And so that's kind of how I knew of Ryan's name. And then I knew the song On the Way Down, but I didn't like follow his career. I didn't really know a lot about him, which I think was better because you
didn't appear like a fangirl.
Yeah, and then you get to but what I love about not really knowing a lot about his music or anything like that, I loved learning about it after meeting who he was as like a person, just so genuine and awesome. And then hearing his music, and I remember he like showed me these videos of like behind the scenes of different music videos, and it was just like super cool, like to see his journey from a different perspective, and I thought it was really cool. But yeah, no, I didn't really know a lot of I knew of his hair.
I was going to ask you, could he make a future entrance song for you? But I'm not sure the styles would work right, because his music is a bit more chilled, right?
We did a fun little sizzle reel for a reality show like 6 months ago, and I actually got him in the ring, and he did a whole entrance, and he performed his own music entrance, and it was actually really good. It was really catchy, really good. And I mean, he didn't perform it as he was walking out. He pre-recorded it, performed it, and it was actually really good. And I was like, okay, props.
So do you think you and him could take down Miz and Maurice if there was a mixed tag match potentially?
Not a chance. We're all too good of friends. Him and Ryan would be literally making bets on the outside as to who was going to win between me and Maurice, and then me and Maurice would be laughing and making bets about us. Like, there's just it's too much of a friend dynamic that we would never be able to face each other in the ring. And Mike right now he's at his prime, Big Chisel Mike. He'd probably take us both out, and so would Maurice. Fierce. I'd run away, and Ryan would probably make fun of me, but it'd be great.
I'd love to see that. Now, you mentioned your hair quite a lot, but one thing I think you're also known for is your special ring gear with the cosplay themes such as Harley Quinn, Iron Man. Were these your ideas? Do you have a lot to say behind your ring attire?
Oh yeah. So I started the whole cosplay thing was with Blake and Murphy and NXT. We all cosplayed Iron Man and Freddy Krueger, and it was a lot of fun, and I just really loved it. And so once I was on the main roster, I was like, I want to keep doing that. And so 100%, they were all like ideas that I had that I sent to my gear guy, and we worked on it. And but now I feel like everyone does it, so I don't do it as much. So because I feel like every pay-per-view we see someone cosplaying someone else. So for me, I don't like to do what everyone else is doing, so I just kind of stopped and I'm trying to find my own new style and niche. Hence why when I was on the playground, I always wore overalls, and it was I kept that very distinct look because no one else was wearing a dress to wrestle in, or you know, chucks up to their knees and tube socks and just all the things that came with that whole look. And so I try to do stuff that's very original and then easy to replicate, because I love seeing, you know, little girls in the overalls, you know, for Halloween and stuff like that. So I always try to wear stuff that's easily duplicated as well.
So if Alexa Bliss was to star in a superhero movie, who would you cast yourself as?
Oh, I would be Supergirl or Captain Marvel. I think it'd be fun to just be some kind of superhero in a movie, or even a supervillain would be fun. Yeah. It's like
And how about if you were to be cast in a Disney movie? Because we know you're a massive Disney fan. Who would you cast yourself in?
Probably Tinkerbell, because she's very sassy, but also, you know, she's got her good side and bad side. And I feel like that's very much everything I've been in WWE. So it'd be a fun transition. And yeah, I would love to, you know, play Tinkerbell in like a live action Peter Pan, or, you know, something.
And finally, could you give us a shout out to all your Malaysian fans out there? Because you have quite a lot, just like myself, who absolutely love you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for your support. And, you know, I wouldn't do what I do if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you so much, because you guys are the thing that keeps me going. And I love your support. And I can't wait to, you know, hopefully see everyone at a show.